So, have you heard about that viral meme, Bear versus Man, where someone asked seven women, if you're out alone in the forest, would you rather encounter a strange man or a bear? And six out of seven of the women replied, a bear, almost instantly without hesitating. And here's some of the reasons they gave for choosing bear over man. It's not my boyfriend. It's not my father. It's not my cousin. Being alone with an unpredictable strange man is more frightening than being alone with a predictable wild animal. Bear. Man is scary. I would rather it be a bear, because if the bear attacks me and I make it out of the woods, everybody's going to believe me and have sympathy for me. But if man attacks me and I make it out, I'm going to spend my whole life trying to get people to believe me and have sympathy for me. I choose the bear because if it attacks, I don't have to carry its fetus full term in 27 US states. So, some men were just a little bit offended by this. Kind of like they didn't get it. What? You'd choose a wild animal over a human being? Well, evidently these men don't pay much attention to the statistics. So let's take a look at the statistics. The national prevalence of sexual harassment and assault. 76% of women have experienced verbal sexual harassment, compared to 35% of men. Unwelcome sexual touching, 49% of women, 18% men. Cyber sexual harassment, 40% of women have experienced, 21% of men have experienced it. Being physically followed, 27% of women have experienced that, 11% of men have experienced it. Unwanted genital flashing, 30% of women have experienced that, 12% of men. And sexual assault, 23% of women have experienced that, and compared to 9% of men. This is according to a 2019 Me Too study. And according to the U.S. Sentencing Commission, 92.1% of sexual abuse offenders are men. So, let me tell you my own story. All of this occurs with a backdrop of hey babies and wolf whistle street harassment. So, I'm 12 to 13 years old. I'm waiting for a ride, and I'm chased down an alley by a car full of young men yelling and screaming, hey baby, blah, 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 at me, scared to death. One day I'm home alone, well, not alone, I'm homesick from school, and my mom's boyfriend, who's old enough to be my grandpa, comes up to me and says, hey Sandy, let's fuck. Not to mention, prior to moving in, a couple of creepy phone calls he made to the house that I didn't know were him. Moving on to high school, I have to take the bus to and from school every day. Not the school bus, the city bus. If I wasn't with my friends, almost guaranteed some guy would try to talk to me, ask me for my phone number, make inappropriate comments. But that's not the worst of it. The worst thing is, where you think I should be safe, in school, I've got a teacher, I'm in a class where it's only two of us women, and I've got a teacher who thinks it's appropriate to put his hand in his chin, his elbow on my table, and say, why don't you wear more dresses? You should wear dresses. I'll give you an A if you wear a dress. Off to college. Did things get better? No, they did not get better. So, one point, my friend and I were taken off on a dark road to party. We had to run away. We had to run across fields in the middle of the night to get away from these people, these guys. On a couple of occasions, I was groped by a strange man. Yep, he just reached out and grabbed me by the pussy. Then I was also stalked by a classmate who was convinced that we were meant to be together. He stalked me for 2 years. So yeah, I'm choosing the bear. I'm choosing the bear every single time. So I really hope that none of you are the kind of people who think it's okay to invade somebody else's boundaries just because you can and just because you feel like it or you think you're entitled somehow. I also hope you're not the kind of person who would incite somebody else and encourage somebody else to invade someone else's boundaries. And I also hope that you're not the kind of person who would stand by, of course, taking care of your own safety, always taking care of your own safety, but who would stand by and let this happen and not speak up and not do anything about it. Because if you're an inciter or you're a bystander who does nothing when your safety's not at stake, then you're just as guilty as the perpetrators. So the reason I'm making this video is because it just so happens that I have heard about an incident of harassment at my job. And it happens to coincide with the bear versus man meme going viral. So I'm taking a step, doing something, not standing by and doing nothing. And that's what this video is about. So, sorry. Choose the bear, even if you're a guy. It's the safest bet.